Hello, hello. So, Daggeth. Not doing anything too crazy, just two armor shards, two health shards, and a cast speed shard. Believe it or not, the cast speed shard's actually kind of useful. I'm thinking about changing it for the equilibrium shard, but for right now. Now she uses arcane persistence, which is why I have the armor and the health shards on her. You have to have more than 700, armor to make it work, which is one of the terrible conditions because if you don't have enough armor, you're sunk. But more importantly, enemies can actually remove your armor if you're not careful. Which brings me to why I subsumed over her cavalry for hideous resistance. It's only at 19, so you do have to, watch the count a little bit, keep re-upping it, but it keeps you from losing your arcane persistence. And that's what keeps you from being one-shotted. Now, because she only has 2k health, Arcane Blessing. Absolutely necessary. Now, she spends a part of her time invincible. So, like, you can't kill her for 25 seconds out of, every minute. I use Spectral Spirit mostly because it lets you utilize your Grave Spirit instantly. And the Grave Spirit's basically your Osha button. Arcane Persistence requires the use of Rage or Hunter Adrenaline. Either one. Hunter Adrenaline's actually better. I mean, it gives you 45 versus 40. More importantly, though, unless you're going to use them both, it's usually enough. Usually. Sometimes you really do need them both. What Daggett needs more than anything, though, is a duration. Like, pretty hard. Duration's how long you can stay invincible. But it also affects, like, your Doom duration. I mean, Doom duration really doesn't matter because everything's going to be dead long before 40 seconds runs out. But Grave Spirit, its duration's pretty short initially, so without such a drastic increase. And no matter what, your cooldown's going to be 25. So you could spend half your time invincible, literally. Better if you can get your cooldown on Spectral Spirit. It's an on kill effect though. So as the level of the enemies creep up, that will become harder and harder to do. Now, with only one trick to make you invincible for a short period of time, right? You're really relying on your arcane persistence to keep you alive more than anything. But just in case, this is on cooldown when the inevitable happens. Right? Have a backup plan. Jhin and Sacrifice can keep you going pretty effectively too. If you do drop, Jhin can get you back up again. Now, normally for this trick, I would use Master's Call, allowing you to instantly revive Jhin. And on some frames it do. But on Daggith, she doesn't have anything to make her immune to status effects. So if you're using Arcane Persistence and you're not immune to status effects, then Arcane Persistence is just a thing that occasionally helps you out. Because the status effects will turn it off pretty regular. Fire and Corrosion will reduce your armor below the 700 mark. Magnetic flat out turns it off. So, and that's in addition to ability nullifiers. And there's tons of enemies that do fire, corrosion, and magnetic. So if you're not using something to make yourself immune to status effects, your Arcane Persistence is worthless. Now, I got rid of her Cavalry because, well, I mean, it's a good effect. It does status, boatload of damage. But I'm not using a lot of strength, as you can clearly see. So spamming something that, you know, is great without the power to back it up isn't going to help much. You could easily lower the duration. You could. But if I do that, the cooldown's still 25 seconds, and that goes to 15 seconds of invulnerability. Just with that. Now, you could use Ruling Guard to, you know, as like a backup. It gives you 2 seconds when you might need it most. But I really think having the 25 seconds on invulnerability time really helps. But you could get rid of that and use Blind Rage. You could. I don't really worry about the net getting in her range because she's pretty up and close anyway. All right. Oh no, I'm down. Well, this is where Jin's supposed to do something. He's probably glitching. Because he's dead. That can happen pretty quick. But I didn't use any of my tricks. I stopped attacking. I was stunted. I mean, you know. I kind of let that happen too. Just to kind of prove that, you know, hey, you're not immortal. Shade's a backup plan that can get turned off just by killing him. So, chances of you being in this kind of scenario, though, pretty minimal. I mean, you're invincible right now, so it doesn't matter. If you get in this scenario, you want to be immortal. But you can't be because, you know, you can't. So, as you can see, as long as they don't turn off your Arcane Persistence, you're fine. But that can happen if you're not careful. See how quickly that debates? Like, your protection against status effects is literally keeping you alive. Second it ran out, cannon fodder. Instantly got gibbed. But yeah. You want to make sure, no matter what, you keep that on. Because if you keep that on, you're good. You can heal through the pain. Because you can attack faster than, you know, than the protection debates. I mean, you're talking about basically losing 500 health a second, right? That's what Arcane Persistence effectually does. So yes, you could die really fast, but you can be one-shotted if you don't have Hideous Resistance turned on. So the build works really well as long as you watch your P's and Q's. You get in a situation like I was back there, obviously, the only thing that's going to help you is Grave Spirit and killing everything in the room. Even your backup plan can be killed simultaneously as you get downed. So this is very much a build where you've got to be careful. Like, you got to be more careful. Like, it's more skill based. I mean, you could take Revenant and just stand there and let things hit you, and you're fine. You are not Revenant. But she has some very good tricks to keep yourself alive. But yeah. Peace, everybody.